Hi guys, welcome again to another Riffs and Gigs interview. Today I've got Peterborough's finest, Good Job Kid.
Hello.
Hello, how's it
Hello.
going?
All right.
So, obviously, to anyone that doesn't know who Good Job Kid are, why have you waited this long to find out who these guys are? Please just introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about the band.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So I'm Aidan. I do guitar, vocals, and program the synth, I suppose. Then I'm going to hand it over to my BFFL, William.
Yeah, so I'm Will. I play the drums. Aidan does all the important stuff. I just hit shit. Um, but yeah, like together, like we are Good Job Kid.
Yeah, fully. To be fair, though, I'd like to say Will is one of the best people I've worked with for structures, so I'm not going to take all the glory here.
No, likewise. I mean, to be honest, I think it's fair to say we bounce off each other in that sense. Like, I think
Yeah,
we're like writing wise, like we're very, very much on the same page with everything, and
yeah.
it normally makes for something pretty special. I like to think.
Yeah. Because, well, not to go too much in it before you've asked any questions, Riley. Like the way we write is usually we just kind of jam, and then like all the synth and stuff is actually like an afterthought.
Mm.
Like no, like synth is written until like last minute. That's like the very last thing we ever do. But I'm going to hand it back to you now before I take this show and run away with it.
And I guess, I mean, I'm kind of not going to ask the same thing later anyway, but I guess with the synth being an afterthought, it's almost easier for you guys to just iron it out, the two of you, and then just chuck it in afterwards,
Yeah,
as opposed
fully.
to
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
it from the beginning.
Yeah,
Right.
that's it. So usually when I do all the synth stuff, I'll literally just put bass root notes in just to keep it simple. And then any leads and stuff, I'll just kind of chuck it in, and then I'll send it to Will. And then if Will likes it, we keep it in. If any changes, we change it or we completely take it out. There's always a time and a place for, fancy parts. And if I'm left to it on my own, it will be completely and utterly unlistenable.
No, to be fair, I mean, like I said, like 9 times out of 10, actually, well, most of the time, like whatever Aiden comes up with on synth is absolutely like insane. So,
Ah,
like, yeah,
appreciate that.
he'll just ping it over to me and just like I don't really ever have a negative thing to say about it. It's like, yeah, that's banging. Let's put it in, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's banging.
Appreciate that. Thank you. He
This
never
is
tells me this when it's just me and him.
this entire interview will just be all of you just gushing over each other.
Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah,
say, I
fully.
love you, Aiden.
I love you, Will.
And as soon as that record button stops, you'll just go back to slagging each other off. It's
Yeah,
brilliant.
Oh
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
fully.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
yeah. Tell you what.
that's why we didn't do it together because we couldn't bear to be alone with each other afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have known that a two piece would have so many musical differences and arguments and shit? You know what
That's not true. Come
I
on.
mean?
Who started the most pettiest argument and over what?
Mm.
TB, I'm not gonna lie to you, mate. Like genuinely, like hands up, we do not ever argue about anything. Like we've had like disagreements about stuff, but we're usually pretty good at like just compromising.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think
But like,
the only thing we really ever disagree on sometimes is what we're going to play in the set.
yeah, it's
And
set. It's only ever set.
yeah, and like we've got a decent backlog of songs, and if we don't play one like a particular set one night, we'll play it the next night. So it's never
Yeah.
really like comes to anything. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, 100%. That is literally the only disagreement. I mean, apart from deciding what food to have when we're out, yeah,
Like,
that's it. You know what I mean?
It's a tough decision.
It is. I mean, we went to Birmingham the other day and we discovered a nice little joint called Big
oh,
John's.
I was waiting for the Big John's plug, man.
Big up Big John's. If you're ever in Birmingham, please go to Big John's.
Yeah, hit up
Like,
a Big John's, man.
it will change your life.
I've got
Honestly.
like a I mean, with a name like Big John's, I'm expecting like the fattest burgers you've ever seen.
I
How
mean, we didn't get burgers to be fair, did we? We got
No,
pizza.
but what we did get, mate, I swear to God, right? Honestly, right? Hear me out, right? So we both got, so what was it? A 9 inch pizza.
Yeah,
Yeah, 9 inch pizza.
managed.
I got like massive box of fully loaded chips, like with chicken and cheese and mayo and jalapenos. Um, and then like massive bag of chicken and a drink for like 12 quid.
Oh,
That's
nice.
it. And the pizza there, so it's $6.99, and you could put as many toppings on it as you want, and it didn't cost. It wasn't extra. That's fucked up. You know what I mean?
So having said all that, Big John's, if you're listening, we're hoping for an endorsement,
Yeah.
sponsorship.
But yeah, to come back to the question before, this is what you have to deal with. We're just going to go on tangents every time. But yeah, no, we don't really argue, mate. To be fair, I think the thing is, if you ask me, the less people involved, like with no disrespect to anyone ever, but like, you know what I mean, like the less people, that it's easier to come to agreements and compromises and stuff, because everything's 50-50. You know what I mean? If I don't like something and Will does like it, you know what I mean? It's so easy to come to a resolution because there isn't an extra input by like 2 other band members or however big, other bands are. So out of anything, I think, I find it a lot easier with stuff like that, personally.
Too right. And I think as well, like both of us have got very similar taste in music in general anyway. So like the stuff that we write is stuff that we both want to write. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it does make things a lot easier, and yeah, we just sort of, like I said, we just bounce off each other, and it works,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you mentioned earlier about the fact you've got a massive back catalogue of songs, and you've been around in the Peterborough scene for a good few years now, even having a third member at some point. How has the band developed kind of since it started and now where we're at now?
Yeah, for sure. So, like, I find that a lot of our stuff, when we was a 3-piece, because at that point in time, because we'd just left a different band, we were very quick to want to be gig ready. So, in my opinion, some of those songs back then, they felt quite rushed to me. And with adapting, when we went from a 3-piece to a 2-piece, when we had this opportunity to use the synth, which opens up like a completely different dynamic, we spent a lot of time like rewriting. So like all these songs, which to me and to Will sound like felt kind of rushed, we had the time to rewrite them and change that feeling. Like some of our first songs are now some of our best songs, and the stuff which we're writing after that is like even better than that.
Oh, 100%. No, not that. To be fair, I mean, like the brand new stuff that we've been working on even recently is just like it's insane.
It's completely different.
Yeah,
but
I feel like I feel like
on,
we've got our niche now, though. Do you know what I mean? Like since becoming like this 2-piece, like we just said earlier, like there's no, it's just us two. Do you know what I mean? So we know what we want to write, and the creative like freedom is so much more. Do you know what I mean? And like I think becoming a 2-piece, and then obviously having the addition of like adding in the synth and stuff, it just adds a whole new dynamic to our sound.
Yeah.
And it's just opened up so many different avenues like musically for us to go down.
And like I think that's evident with the single you released off the EP.
The
name escapes my head, but it's one of those songs that I've seen you guys perform live and open your sets with for however many times.
Yeah.
At various venues or festivals where you've popped up. It's nice hearing it transform from an almost rougher live recording to a slightly more polished studio recording. So how does it feel almost getting the chance to refine those tracks, develop them a bit further in the studio?
I really enjoy it because sorry, excuse me, Ham. I really enjoy like working on stuff in the studio because it gives us like where we can just fine tooth comb everything. And you know what I mean? And we've spent a lot of time doing that. You know what I mean? There aren't many bands around Peterborough who spend 2 years recording a 4-track EP. Well, 5-track EP. You know what I mean? So like a lot of the time we've gone back and we've changed a few things in places. But it got to a point where there were so many changes that me and Will kind of almost had to come to an agreement that we can't keep going back and changing things because we're going to run out of time, like for the release date.
But I think as well, like I mean, so the producer that we work with, I don't know if you know him, Chris Barnes. at Backland Studios over in Oundle. Like he has helped us like come on so much as well as sort of like recording artists. Like previous people that we've worked with in the past, it's always seemed sort of very pressurized and like, you know, it has to be this way, it has to be that way. Whereas like Chris is very good at like sort of like giving us our like the space for us to be creative. And also like if there are things we want to change, he's completely open to it. He'll also give us like sort of ideas as well. Do you know what I mean? And working with someone like that, who, to be fair, has got so much musical knowledge, it's only been like positive for us. And I mean, the guy's insane. Like, and obviously, he does also like the mixing and the production. And then there's Mark Peacock, who masters all the tracks. And even like from like recording like the original mixes to the master, like the difference is just mental. And when we get the tracks sent back, like instantly they sound mega. But you know, we can be quite pedantic, and it's not like we don't have to feel like bad going back to Chris and saying, yeah, we kind of want to change this. Kind of like, I mean, I think like especially with the single, for example, when Blood, Sweat and Beers was first recorded, the synth was really prominent, and we both sort of like spoke about it, that we didn't really want that to be the sort of the overpowering like theme of the song. So we went back to Chris, and like he remixed it, and obviously went to master again. Mark did his thing, and now like obviously like the levels for us are perfect, and it's exactly how we wanted it to sound, you know. And he's been so accommodating with us, and yeah, I mean we couldn't really ask for anyone better to work with, to be honest.
I think that makes the whole experience so much more worth it when you are working with someone that understands the songs, understands you guys.
100%.
Yeah, fully. There was a point that we enjoyed working with Chris so much that we was going to bring him in as bassist, but you know, he's just so busy, so it just never happened. So
yeah, he's too popular, man. He's a popular guy.
That's it. So, you know, if any bands are listening and they want to book in, or I'd message him now.
So far we've had a Big John's plug, and we've had a Backland Studios plug. All right. What's next, boys?
I was going to say, Big John's, Backland Studios, hit them up.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's go.
100%.
I mean, it's a far drive from Birmingham to Oundle, but it's worth it.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you right.
Well away.
We'll be hoping that Big John. I like to imagine that the boss or the owner is called John and he is big.
Oh yeah,
I'm hoping Big John is watching.
Or could it be something like? Could it be like an ironic nickname, and actually he's like 2 foot tall?
Yeah, he's like tiny. I mean, I kind of hoped it was that one guy off, like, you know, off TikTok or Instagram. You know, Bush. I hoped it was that Big John. But we went in there. There's like no Big John merch or anything. I was fucking fuming. But there you go.
I would wear a t-shirt that just says Big John and nothing else.
New merch.
Oh mate. Oh, that's it. Next merch line.
Plain black t-shirt with just the words Big John,
but like in Comic Sans.
I would wear it.
I'll get it made. I want to. I'll speak to Barry. Here we aren't. You know, if you need any gigs or plug free.
If you need any gigs or bad t-shirts being made, not bad quality t-shirts, bad Big John bad.
Good bad. Good save, Riley. Good
Thank
save.
you. Shots fired.
Getting myself out of that hole before I dig too deep.
Yeah, I like
it. Yeah, Big John Comic Sans level bad.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we like that.
The print quality is brilliant.
Oh yeah.
I've still got somewhere one of like the 5 t-shirts he made for you guys.
Oh,
however many years ago. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Mate.
I should have dug it out. I think it's somewhere in a drawer or something.
Was that the one that said something like, "I made this T-shirt because Good Job Kid didn't have their own merch" or something?
Precisely.
Yeah, brilliant.
I think it's like one of 7.
Yeah,
mate.
I don't know if you can see, but there's a little box down there. But I don't know if it's in shot, but that's got all our new merch. So you haven't got, you ain't got to buy and wear them ones anymore.
I mean, to be fair, mate, the one you've got is limited edition, so
precisely.
Yeah,
but it doesn't say Big John. So
gutted.
Anyway, off the tangent.
This is gonna be your longest episode yet.
Half of it is just going to be Big John content.
It's a podcast is a podcaster. I mean, it's an interview, but it's basically a podcast, right?
Yeah, basically a podcast.
There you go.
I've again, tangent. I've tried to avoid being like, hey, come onto my podcast, because that just sounds pretentious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it basically is a podcast.
Well, I mean to be fair, mate, about 5 minutes ago, I called us artists, and that was pretentious as fuck.
Shit, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There you
go. Going back to you being artists, obviously you mentioned that it's taken you a couple of years to record these tracks.
Yeah.
What's that process been like? Is there anything that's kind of resulted in it taking a little bit longer than
it's
expected, or?
I'd say it's like two things. I mean, firstly, without it being the main thing, when you are a two-piece, obviously everything starts getting quite expensive, right? So like it's only split between me and Will. But as well, like it started that it was going to record one song and release it, and then we liked how much that one sounded, that we were like, okay, we should record a second song and do a proper single. And then before we knew it, by the summer, we was like, well, should we record this song as well? And before you know it just took so long. And then not long, but you know what I mean? We spent so much time being like, okay, we've just written this song. I really think it needs to be on this EP. And then like before you know it, like 2 years had been, because we'd been making loads of changes. And like, yet again, going back to saying how great Chris is at Badlands and Mark, like honestly, there was so many different mixes. And like, so Chris wanted to take the time to like mix it differently as well. And it got to a point we were saying about it. The new mixes were so good that the old ones, which were still good, sounded awful, if you know what I mean. Like it was still good, but the new one was so much better that the old one sounded awful. So there's just like a million different versions of these songs on a hard drive somewhere. And that's it. Everyone just like really fucking like really wanted to take their time with it. And I think that is one of the reasons why it took us so fucking long to get to this point. But the thing is, a lot of people have said to us, like, when's your EP dropping and stuff like that. And I don't know, man, like I really wanted to spend the time with it, because I'm sure Will can agree. Like we've put a lot of like heart and soul into this shit. And it's not something like it's not nothing pretentious like, oh, we want to save up so we could like spend £9 million on ads or anything stupid like that. It's just, if I'm putting this out there, I want it to be how I want it to be, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Like me and Will have spoke about before, like I'm not happy to settle, you know? Like I don't want a song to be like, oh, well, that's kind of how I thought it'd sound. Like that's why it's taken so long. We've wanted it to sound identical to how we envisioned it.
Yeah, like it's easy. It's so easy to like get caught up in like, no, that'll do. Yeah, that sounds all right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but no, we have been very sort of picky. Well, picky is probably the wrong word. Like, I think like we've just been very focused on what we wanted, and like we said, like, and Chris has completely like accommodated that, and you know, like, been really good about it, and obviously like Aidan said, all these mixes that he's done, like, because obviously we didn't record all of the tracks in one session, so obviously going back into the studio, like things are mic'd up differently and stuff, so obviously he had to get the levels bang on and stuff. It was really like sort of like he was very meticulous with it, and the end product is just blown us away. Like, I think as well, like to add to like the sort of the time that it's taken to obviously get this EP out. Like we recorded Blood, Sweat and Beers fucking ages ago, and we were sort of teasing like a lot of people saying, yeah, now we're waiting to do a music video for it. We want to release it as a video and stuff. And a year went by and we still hadn't done a video. And then we were like, okay, well, let's record a few more songs. But then when we release all the EP, we're going to release Blood, Sweat and Beers as a video. We still haven't recorded a video, and
No.
it's just like, and yeah, so I think it just comes to that point where it's just like, let's release it as a single. We don't need a video. We just want to put our music out there because we're so proud of it, and we think that everyone's going to love it. And so far, we've had a really good response, and it's so like sort of humbling to know that people are appreciating our sound. You know what I mean? It's really cool, and like yeah, it's big. You know, it's big for us after the work we put on this. You know, it's something to be proud of. You know.
And then I guess kind of going back to you saying, you Adrian, going back to saying that you wanted to have that time to refine it and make it how you envisioned it.
Yeah.
I guess one thing that helps in that is that there is really no pressure. You know, you're not having too much pressure put on you to get it out there or to get it done. So
yeah. The only pressure put on it is the pressure we put on ourselves, really, and that's arguably just as bad. But
yeah, fucking get the guitar.
That's it. But like, you know,
I'm trying.
Yeah, literally. Let me fucking go in my stupid tunings.
Are you a weird tuning?
Yeah.
What tuning are we using?
So I use DAE A C sharp E or FAC GCE. So without doing too much of a show and tell, I'll grab my little acoustic. So basically, I can just open strum, and it's a lovely, lovely chord. So
that's all he does in all of our songs, anyway. So
yeah. It's just all this. So yeah, I mean, like, you know, that's also been a factor, like, you know, fucking understanding these stupid tunings. So, I mean, thankfully, this EP is all in one tuning. I had to think about it. It's all in one, but the next one's in a different one. So, you know, we'll get there.
I think as well, 3 years. Like, I mean, we've been that sort of like laid back about it. Not laid back, like obviously we've worked hard, but like obviously it hasn't, like what you say about the pressure and stuff like that. Like I said, like any other sort of like producers we worked with in the past, like in sort of like separate bands or anything like that, you know, we just got in and done our job and fucked off. But like even like through this whole process, I mean, I'm an absolutely awful singer. Absolutely awful singer, but even I've been like sort of chipping in with some backing vocals and stuff. Really turned down so you can barely hear it in the mix, but it is there, you know. Like, and we've had fun with it, man. Like, it's been really cool, man. Like, we had a right laugh in it.
That's it. Like, even in like Blood, Sweat and Beers, the chorus harmony isn't me. That's Chris. Because Chris had an idea. I couldn't quite get it. I was getting fatigued by the end of the day. Chris put in a placeholder and it just stuck. Like, we didn't want to change it, which is always nice with working there because he, like we said earlier, he always has nice input, and it's never like. And the thing is, as well, if it's input which we didn't like, he never got funny about it. With worked with some people before, and you know, things go the way they go, and that. So
they almost take it too personally.
Yeah, sometimes. 100%. Yeah, you know, like even,
I mean, go on.
No, go on.
Oh no,
All right. Even bands when I was like, you know, in high school, you know, it was the same thing. Like, you know, when I'm a kid and there's this 30-year-old dude being like, you should do this. And I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, all right then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really refreshing. Go on, Will. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, like, when I was back in high school and a 30-year-old bloke.
Fuck's sake.
No, but that's it. Like, at the end of the day, like, that's how it is. Like, that's how it should be. Like, you know, even like you and me, like when we're in practice and when we're writing stuff, we can easily turn around to each other and be like, nah, that don't really work. And we're like, yeah, cool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'll trial stuff. Like, if there's something that, like, say, like, I mean, I waste about an hour every practice trying to get one fucking drum fill right. Do you know what I mean? Like, but you know, we put the time aside to do that. But if it doesn't work, and you put that time aside, even to trying to like obviously fit it into the song, if it doesn't work, then both of us have got like enough like humility to be like, yeah, cool, it don't work. Let's move on. Let's try something else. Do you know what I mean?
I find with a lot of bands, you know, sometimes I think some people think too much about what they're playing and how it's perceived. Where I think not to act like me and Will fucking invented this mind state, but it's bigger picture. Yeah, I mean, it isn't about what I'm playing; it's about the whole song as a
Oh
whole.
yeah.
That's what we're
Too
always working towards. Is a decent. It's not like, oh, I like playing this song because that one bit I do in the middle eight is fucking cool. It's always like the whole song is sick, and
yeah.
that's probably why it takes us so long to get anything done.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always something to work on.
Like music videos.
Yeah.
Well, if you need a music video, I know a guy.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Cool.
Spoiler alert, it's me.
Yeah, man. Sick. Yeah. I mean, we do want to do like some performance stuff.
It's my turn to plug myself, and this
Do
is
I was
it.
going to say,
Chuck it
plug
in.
number
plug
4.
five, plug 4 or 5.
4, I think. Go on, plug it.
Oh, I love that. But
So,
yeah, we do need a video. So
Yeah.
we do want to. I think I think after the EP's dropped, I think like we have spoken about. I mean, we've got some pretty cool stuff coming up anyway, which I'm sure we'll probably talk about not shortly. But yeah, like I think it is something that we both want to do is at least get some sort of video done.
Yeah.
Whether it's a performance, I think like we toyed with the idea of doing some like sort of like a what's the word, narrative sort of video, but and the ideas we had were awesome, but it just never really, it was going to be way too complicated. And like, I mean, we're on a bit of a budget as it is, do you know what I mean? So I think like, yeah, like we've sort of come to the agreement, let's just fucking do a performance video, you know what I mean? It's easy, and it's, you know, it's something for everyone, isn't it? Like, it's just, here's what it is. Like,
Yeah, fully.
yeah, it works. So just slightly cautious of time and rambling.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's crack on. Let's lock in.
Are there any moments on this EP that you're particularly proud of, or any highlights that really stand out to you, or is it just the whole EP?
I mean, for me, it's definitely more of a whole, but there's definitely parts where I listen back and I'm quite like just proud of, you know, certain parts for sure. That one of our songs called "You Blew It" could in fact be one of my favorite songs we've ever written, just because the subject matter and the way we've been able to like get the vibe like perfect for lyrical content. But like, you know, yeah, again, like I was saying, bigger picture, it's just the whole thing for me. Like, you know, definitely, like especially with the synth aspect, I think with, you know, We're Not Us, Chris has like nailed it. I'm going to pass it over to Will, because if not, I can speak for days.
Yeah, yeah. No, to be fair, man, I totally agree with what Aiden said. Like, I think just like, especially like the title track, "You Blew It," like is an absolute banger. Like, I mean, it was like sort of like it was almost written by accident, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it was like, Aiden made this like really cool interlude, sort of like on the theme of the blood, sweat, and beers, like. And like You Blew It was like born out of that. We just started jamming it in practice, and it was just like we were just like, yeah, we've got to fucking record this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just wrote itself.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the way that the EP flows as well from start to finish, I think like we've got the track order in the perfect way around and stuff. And yeah, just how fucking proud we are, man. Like it's just it sounds like everything we wanted it to, man. Like and we can't wait to like for people to hear it, man.
Yeah.
No, it's it'll be really cool kind of getting it out there and sharing
Yeah,
it.
man. Yeah, definitely.
So one more question for you, and it could be however long or as short as it turns out to be.
Dope.
But obviously rest of the year, I know you've got some exciting shows planned. I think is it Denmark you're off to for a festival?
Yeah, we're off to Vesterbro Rockfest in Copenhagen. It's at, I can't say it, but Student Husset or something. Yeah, it was in a venue called Basement, which I could pronounce, and then they found asbestos in their walls, so now it's changed. But there's a poster on our socials. Yeah, so we're off to Denmark, and then there's some other stuff which we can't really speak about yet, but you know, hopefully we'll be overseas twice this year. Just waiting for, you know, some bits to fall in line. But we got that.
Got East Anglia coming up as well.
Yeah, we got East Anglia at the Ostrich. It's always a good time. I think we're playing on the Friday, which, if you ask me, I prefer. Then I still get my weekend.
Is it Friday, Saturday again?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, this one. So we're playing on Friday with label mates Dodo Appreciation Society, which will be fun because we've not gigged with them yet.
Yeah, true. Shit.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, we've got that coming up. Denmark, we're very excited about. Anything to go back to the land of cheap beer and good hot dogs. So
Hells yeah. No, I won't miss my flight this time.
No, you won't. There's a good story in there, but I'll tell you about that off camera, Riley.
The plane was not going to leave without me.
It fucking did. It did. So after our gigs as well, we're gonna knuckle down and record a few more bits, and hopefully we're gonna have something else out by the end of the year.
Hopefully not wait like another 2 years.
No, these songs are like, it's weird since doing the synth stuff, because it's like all the synth stuff is already on the computer in MIDI. That side of things is recorded so easily, because a lot of this EP was recorded off the actual synth, which we don't use no more. So it was just like another element to actually be recorded. So it does shave down time.
I was going to say, I'm guessing a lot of the upcoming EP is songs that have been in your repertoire for a while.
Yeah.
How close are we to like completely brand new material?
Well, I suppose we kind of play a couple of them live now, don't we? Like completely new material, like Very Meadows, and we're working on a song called Big Johns and a Bad Leg. There's a good story in that as well. We'll tell you about that later as well. But yeah, like songs, they're just kind of flowing. The thing is, like, over the course of us being a band of like 2.5 years, there's a lot of demos which we've kind of started working on, and then something else came up, but there's still those demos. So we have a lot of stuff we probably actually do want to come back to. Like if we had the money and the time to go into the studio and just record everything, we'd probably have 4 albums. But it's, who's got the time or the money?
But our favorite saying as a band is like, we'll just get this gig out of the way, and then we'll work on this song. Do you know what I mean? So we half finish things, and then we go, and obviously then we start practicing the set for ready for gigs and stuff, and then we come back after the show, and then we end up starting on something else. Do you know what I mean? So there is so much there.
Yeah,
but we just got to sift through it and actually just get work, like just knuckle down and work on it hard. Do you know what I mean? And again, like it's some crazy stuff, man. It's so good, and we just need to really like sort of like put a bit more work in and just get it done. Do you know what I mean? Because like I know full well that like, when that stuff's released, it's going to blow some minds, man.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been sort of a fan of you guys since however long I've been aware of you guys.
Cheers, man.
At least a year and a half, couple of years or so, various gigs at Here We Aren't. Again, another plug. And,
good t-shirts.
Big John, Comic Sans. Possibly the Ostrich as well. I've not been there as much as I would like to be, but I definitely aim to go there a bit more over this year. But
yeah, man.
Ostrich is a good venue, man. I love playing the Ostrich. Like it's always pretty fucking rowdy there, isn't it? Like it's a cool little venue.
It's go on, Riley. Sorry.
I think purely based on what I've seen, I think it's a venue that I would not enjoy playing purely because of the setup hassle.
But this is it. When you're a two-piece.
Yeah.
But the vibe is lovely. The vibe is really nice.
Yeah.
Didn't Geordie like book like a 9-piece for the Ostrich once or something?
Yeah. There was this one gig we was playing where we were going to headline, but then Geordie was like, "Oh nah, this 9-piece band, can we let them headline?" And like at that point, we were just like, "Yeah, that's kind of fair enough, isn't it?"
Yeah.
So like, yeah, but like the Ostrich is it was the first gig where we've ever had like crowd surfing. So
that's hilarious, man. That was wicked.
Yeah. So there's not enough room, so it's kind of crowd surfing. It's more like the bumps than anything else. But like, I love it so much.
And they do a good freedom as well. Like the Ostrich. Good old pint of freedom.
Can't be it.
Yeah, boy.
But yeah, no, thank you so much for coming on here, having a quick chat.
No,
Honestly,
thanks for having us, dude.
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
it's been good fun. Big John's.
Yeah, big up, Big John.
John's, mate.
Big up,
Yeah.
big up, Big John's.
Yeah, I mean, before we go, I just want to quickly plug that our new EP, because we haven't done this because we've been yapping. Our new EP, "Great You Blew It," is out on all streamers and Bandcamp. So if you haven't heard of us and fancy a little tinkle, you know
Give it a
where to go.
listen.
Yeah,
Give
give
it
it
a
a listen. There we go.
Of course, the best part is they're going to have to get through everything else and every other ramble to get to that part.
No one's this far. No one's this far.
Could you just like cut this and put that at the beginning so then they don't have to hear all the other bullshit?
we almost need it. If you've made it this far, comment something.
If you've made it this far, comment Big John's.
And if you made it this far and you don't listen to the EP, then I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Happy days. Well, thank you for having us, Riley.
No worries. There you go.
Thanks, mate. That's been really good fun, man. Big love.
enjoyed it.
It's been really nice. Looking forward to seeing more of what you guys do.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
bro.